some of us want to skip the process because we don't ever want to get wounded. But it's impossible to go through life without getting wounded. It's impossible to go through life and not be rejected by somebody. It is impossible to go to church and not receive some type of church hurt. It is just, I'm telling you, can go to the best loving church in the world where all they do is hug you and kiss you and rub your feet. Somebody go rub your feet too hard. Somebody go squeeze you just a little bit too tight and go cause a situation. God gave me another word. He says, whenever there's a wound, the first thing one must look for is to be healed. And naturally, I had to go to dictionary.com again. If there's a division, if there's a rupture, if there's some violence, God, I want to be healed. But what is the definition of being healed? One may say. Dictionary.com says this. Healed means to make healthy, whole, or sound, to restore health, free from your sickness, free from the violence. It also means, heal means, to bring to an end or conclusion, free from evil, to make clean, to purify, and sanctify. I can't expect to overcome if I really don't want to be healed. I'm going, y'all just hold what you got. We want retaliation, but we don't want healing. We want a response, but we really don't want to be healed. You hit me, so I really want to hit you back. And I'm not satisfied until you feel what I feel. God has not finished with you yet. You lied on me, so I'm not going to stop praying until you feel the lie you told. I know I ain't got nobody up in here. They have a terminology in the world. I'm going to get you before you get me. Even if you think you about to do something, I'm a set it off. Has anybody ever been in a fight in school and they got the upper hand on you? I know y'all boasting in your abilities. I know you thought you won. You thought you had it together. But I don't know if you have anything called, in my school, we had these groups that today, if you started it, tomorrow we would go finish it. And then the next day, if we saw you again, it's going to be the same. I don't know if y'all have anything. I don't know if you got that sibling in your family when you were growing up that y'all couldn't even sit at the kitchen table without arguing. I remember as a twin, because I am, my brother and I, we fought, not doing school because we had class, but in the summer, when it was just he and me, we just fought. There was nobody around. If I wanted to watch He-Man and he wanted to watch G.I. Joe, it was going to be a situation. May the best man win. And I fought him and whooped his behind. I know I'm telling the truth in the church. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling it like it is. I'm going to make the devil shame today. I beat him. I beat him. I beat him. I fought. But see, this is the thing. We took turns fighting. I know y'all know nothing about that. So I jump on here, hit him real good, and then I run. And he'll chase me, and when he catch me, I go in the protection mode and allow him to beat me. We did it every day. Every day. Mama would say, twins, I know y'all gonna do something. We gonna whoop you before you do it. We got whoopings before we did it. It was just due to us. We will wound each other, but then be concerned about the wounds. Never forget, he pushed me in the back of somebody, and my eye hit the back of the person's head, and my eye went out like this. He cried more than I cried. We wounded each other. But at the same time, we got concerned about the healing. Because we didn't really want it to be like it was. We just got caught up in the moment. A lot of folks get hurt in the church because they're caught up in the moment. We talk about people in the church because we get caught up in the moment. We fight and put our hands on each other because we got caught up in the moment. And we wound each other. But God has a way of making it whole. And he told me to define the word whole as it relates to Joseph. Because at the time that Joseph had been in Egypt, he could have grown bitter because of everything he has gone through. And to see his brothers again, he had the authority to kill them. But because of his father being with him in Egypt, in Goshen, Joseph treated his brothers kindly, so they thought. Because we only smile in, I'm put it like this. If you ever been fighting with somebody, and when an authoritative figure comes in that has the power to do something to both of you, y'all stop and smile. It's like this. You talking about somebody like a dog until they come in, and then you say, hey, child, how you doing? Good to see you. God bless you. Oh, you look good. I like your shoes. Until they leave. Did you see the junk they just... I'm almost done, but I want to share something with you. I said, God, I would have been like Joseph's brothers. Because after Jacob or Israel died and they buried their father, there was nothing keeping Joseph from retaliating on his brothers for the pit, the dungeon, and the prison. He could have remembered everything that they did to him, but he didn't do it. Why? Because in the lowest moments in Joseph's life was some of his highest moments, because it was nobody with him but God. It is when you're hurting the most that God shows up the most, and he does things for you that nobody else can do for you. Difference. The brothers they were healing, but Joseph was healed. What's the difference between being healed and being and healing? Here's the difference. When I fall and scrape my knee up, or actually open it up, if anybody ever did that, got bruises and stuff, there's a process in the healing process that you develop a scab. The scab is a temporary covering that covers an unhealed wound. And when you have a scab, you have the tendencies to play with it. And a lot of church folks are kind of scabby in church. They got wounds that they won't let heal because they still. Every time that person comes around, you go back to opening up stuff that should be healing by now. I thought y'all would understand. And they know you're kind of scabby because you're bleeding now. And you're rolling your eyes at them for no reason. You'll say stuff like, every time they show up, the atmosphere changes. How in the world can a person change the atmosphere of God in your life? That's kind of scabby, don't you think? Look at your neighbor and say, you look like, are you scabby? If you still angry at me over something 2 years ago, that's kind of scabby, don't you think? If you still walking and talking about something that happened last month and there is no, that's kind of, you still touch your neighbor and say, get your hands off of that. It's just like what mama used to do when she saw you plucking and picking at your wound. Stop that. It's not going to ever heal if you keep opening it up. Tell your neighbor, say, you're not ever going to get better if you keep opening up the same old stuff. You're never going to, look at somebody and say, you're never going to get healed. I need you to understand this. A scar is the mark that's left by a healed. That means you're whole from the inside out. A scab shows that you're healing, but you ain't there yet. And if you're not careful, the wound is greater than the scab. Y'all know that? Think about a scab, because it really don't really cover the whole wound. You still see some redness, and if you rub it the wrong way, any sudden move, it'll open it right up. But a scar is the permanent covering for a wound that cannot ever be opened again. I wish I'd look at your hand. Somebody, you know where your scar is at. Is it a scab or is it a scar? It means it cannot be open again. In other words, I really don't feel it, but I see it now. And because it's a scar, it does not dictate to me about my wounds. It does not lead me to my past, but it causes me to rejoice about my future. I need y'all to understand this. Because if you ever been wounded real bad and they said there's no way this is going to heal, but God does it. When people say you ain't going to ever overcome this, but God does it. They say you'll never rebound from this, but God does it, because you have to rely on his blood to heal you from the inside.